What's going on, everybody? Listening to the Fairweather Podcast. Boy 2K Suave. I'm here with my boy A. Rodriguez, ASAP Penis.
ASA penis.
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just a very eventful show that we're gonna have today. The NFL draft is tomorrow, so we have a show dedicated to the entire draft. So it's gonna be really easy from there. Um, give you the rundown, right?
Hey, the rundown is it's all NFL draft. We gonna hit every topic that needs to be hit, everything that's been floating through the news. The Jags are officially on the clock, followed by the New York Jets. And then eventually we'll get to the train wreck that is the Philadelphia Eagles at 12, unless we trade up. And then we round it out tomorrow with the all 22 starter returning Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They look like they might be trying to go for a little two-piece. So we're going to break down everything today.
Yeah. We'll talk, the quarterbacks in the draft. We'll talk big surprises that could possibly happen in the drafts, what players could fall, what could rise, possible trade scenarios, things like that. We'll discuss our teams, and then lastly, we'll just compare our mock drafts that we just released today. And everybody loves to crucify KK on his mock drafts.
I love it.
I love that nobody has anything bad to say about me. I'm like them. I'm the
because you give everybody what they want to see. You're too nice. You want to see Naji Harris. You want to help make. You want everyone to be happy. I just keeps it real, and I like to see chaos. And we always know there's always chaos in the draft. It never goes. In the Clinton wasn't it Clinton Farrell? It never goes according to plan.
Oh, absolutely not.
These things happen.
And the crazy thing is I just kept it as the draft is going accordingly. I didn't make any trades like you did in mine.
Yeah.
And I was about to, and then right when I was about to make like 4 trades on my board, I got like 6 notifications about stupid things. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it as is, man. It's just messing with my head at this point.
Yeah, the Teddy Bridgewater trading didn't change. It didn't really change what I think, because I haven't picked Rashawn Slater, but still it's like, oh, okay, maybe they went and clear room for another quarterback. So it's a lot of stuff is going to happen pre-draft, and then the actual draft night is going to be sometimes it's really silent. It just goes 1 through 32 with 2 trades or something. I feel like tomorrow, there hasn't been any, there wasn't a combine. We're just going off of people's pro days and fake 40s.
Yeah, exactly.
So we really don't know what we're getting ourselves into right now. This is a crazy time. So I'm excited personally.
Said Mac Jones ran a 4.4. My ass, man.
Mac Jones is the fastest quarterback in the draft. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Pocket quarterback.
Sticking on the topic of Mac Jones, we're gonna go into QB talk for this draft. This is a deep QB class. There's a big 5 with Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Mac Jones is the big 5 in this draft. There's some other guys sitting on the bubble that could make a possible impact and make a second round pick, or even maybe even sneak into the first round in Trask and Mond and the dude from Texas. There's a bunch of good little quarterbacks outside that you can wait on and get maybe. But if you had to rank, we obviously know Trevor Lawrence is going first. And the Jets already said they're taking Zach Wilson, but there's always that what if we do this and shock the world.
Correct.
Who do you think the top, if you had to rank of those 5 or of all the quarterbacks, who would you rank as your top 5 coming into this draft?
Trevor Lawrence. I've been high on Trevor Lawrence since the first time I ever saw him on a Clemson football jersey. I'm like, yo, that dude, Sunshine can ball. Sunshine can ball. So Trevor Lawrence, I was a little concerned about. I guess they were interviewing him and his family or something like that a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder, and he's not driven to win. He's not driven by championships. It kind of comes across as he's not obsessed with football, which is, it's kind of scary because it has like a lot of Andrew Luck written on it. Because to me, Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck are similar in the fact that they're just naturally gifted players. But Andrew Luck retired at 30. any man that can do that, that's scary because you draft the first overall pick as a quarterback. You want them to be there for 15, 20 years. You know, we've been spoiled by like the Tom Brady's of the world and Peyton Manning's and, you know, stuff like that. So you want them to be there as a lifer, essentially. So I was a little concerned about that as far as comments that he made, but as far as actual talent, he's leaps and bounds number one. Then it gets tricky. You know, you said 5, so obviously Mac, Trey, your boy, potentially Zach, and Justin. I got Justin Fields as my number 2. As a Michigan Wolverine, you know, fan, you know, I have a lot of respect. You know, you can hate a team, but have respect for a team. You know, I don't like Ohio State. Don't get me wrong, but I have a lot of respect for everything that they put out, and I know the kind of talent they put out. And I've been very low on Ohio State quarterbacks historically. I've never really thought that they would ever translate well to the NFL. But I think Justin Fields is a different story. I think he's a different story. I think he can be the one that kind of breaks that mold. So I got Justin Fields as my number 2. So now we're looking at Zach Wilson and Trey Lance and Mac Jones. I again, it's just pro day. It's just pro day. I've seen 2 pro days from Trey Lance. That boy's got some skills. He's the modern day quarterback, 2021 version of what you need in a quarterback. He's got quick feet. He's athletic as hell. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw on the run. He can create nothing out of something. And people are gonna say, you know, oh, in the competition, look. In 2019, I think it was 2019. They won like the FCS. It's the FCS North Dakota State where Carson Wentz came from. They won the championship. He threw 0 interceptions in that whole season. Now, I don't care what level of competition you're playing. If you throw 0 interceptions in a season, that is impressive. That is very impressive. So people say there's concerns about his accuracy. I mean, I don't know, man. That's he's probably because he's a black quarterback. They just assume that he's not accurate. But Trey Lance is nice, bro. I like what I saw just from what I've seen on film and what I've seen just in pro days. Might during shorts and you know tights and stuff, so you don't really get to know. But I think he's going to translate pretty well. Then we're now looking at Zach and Mac. Look, I don't know enough about Zach Wilson. But he's athletic as well. But he went to BYU, and outside of Steve Young, I don't really know anybody else who as a quarterback that went to BYU that you can like hang your hat on. You may know because you probably been paying close attention. But I mean, Mac Jones was spoiled with a lot of weapons, with Alabama. So I got Mac Jones as my 4. I mean, when they asked Devontae Smith, between him and Tua, Devontae Smith said Mac Jones so quickly. I was like, all right, Mac Jones got something. So I'm going to go Mac 4. And then Zach Wilson, number 5. He might, look, I love you, bro, but he might end up being the bust of the draft. Because there's never a situation where all the quarterbacks are successful. It's impossible.
Oh, absolutely.
He may end up being the Mitchell Trubisky of the draft.
Yeah, man. So if I had to rank mine, I would say Lawrence would be my first. Anybody that can beat Alabama, is a pretty good player.
Yeah.
And pretty dominant in his conference as well.
Right.
Since I saw him play too, I knew he was built for the big stage. I don't get the Andrew Luck vibes from him, but I get starting caliber 15 years out of you quarterback from him for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell people whenever I see, whenever people talk about Trevor Lawrence, I'm like, look, they say this is the greatest prospect since Peyton Manning. And Peyton Manning, if it wasn't for Tom Brady, Peyton Manning he would have a lot of more rings and things. Yeah. So.
Yeah. At 2, I got Justin Fields too. Just what you saw in the national championship game, the will to win, to go out there and try and, with messed up body, able to play though, not like Jalen Waddle style. Like Jalen Waddle should not have even been on that field.
Nah, I blame Nick Saban for that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he's like my seniors want, or my upperclassmen want to play type thing. Nah.
Yeah.
But Justin Fields went in there and he made some pretty good plays. He's pretty smart in the pocket, and he's pretty accurate, and he's kind of quick. So he would be my 2.
Okay.
3, 4, and 5 is where it's going to get a little tricky for me. I'm going to put Zach Wilson there because he's getting all these crazy hype comparisons. Russell Wilson, accurate passing, quick. He's got, like I told you, he's got Hawaiian blood in him. So
that's the Hawaiian side that you like.
that's the only thing I like of him, is that I'm going to put him there at 3 just for that reason. And then 4 and 5 is kind of tricky for me. I don't like either one of these guys for the most part. I like them, don't get me wrong. I just like, on my list, I got to put him there. Trey Lance has a very small sample size, in my opinion.
He does.
We got to see his pro day, and it was electrifying. Like, imagine a 300-pound defensive lineman coming at you. Can you make that still happen? If there's a guy covering your receiver, can you still make that throw? That's what I want to see. So pro days, they get me excited, but at the same time, it's like, if your sample size is small as Trey Lance's, it doesn't really do
But
much.
define sample size, because I mean, there's a lot of players who played Joe Burrow, one great season of college football, #1 pick.
He only played
Cam Newton, one great season of college football, #1 pick.
Mm-hmm. But Cam Newton also won a national championship. So he's got.
And then to Trey Lance's defense, he won a national championship too. But it was an FCS. Yeah. Carson Wentz came from the same, the same kind of background. He's not. He wouldn't be the first player.
I know. My biggest tip to that is this year he played one game, and you didn't get to see much out of Trey Lance. So you're going off of a year before. I like to see progression. If you're going to play a second year, at least give me 5 games in the season before you decide to get hurt and sit out for the season because you want to focus on the draft. Give me that to see. So one game really didn't do it for me. So I'm going to put Trey Lance as my 5, actually. Okay. And Mac Jones, both of these guys are interchangeable for me. Mac Jones, like, he's good. He's obviously playing at Alabama, but Alabama, you get the entire toys to play with.
Yeah.
They're a running back breeding school. They've been, according to like Bleacher Report, whoever's been doing it, they ranked them #1 in running back production. Devonta Smith, your boy, said we're #1 wide receiver school too. Don't count us out. They really are. If you think about the guys in the league that are from Alabama and the guys that are coming in the league from Alabama, they have decent tight ends. They have a great O-line. They have everything that you need. So Mac Jones, all he had to do was not fuck up. That's all he had to do. So he waited his turn, just like every Alabama quarterback, and he got the job done. So I would put Mac at my 4. So I got Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, Jones, and Lance.
That's fair. That's fair. Again, at the end of the day, you never really know. Like, it's all, because everyone's playing in different schools. Mac plays at SEC. We see a lot of these Oklahoma quarterbacks go high, but they're playing the Big 12, which is like no defense. So you never really know until, millions of people are watching them. They're on Fox, CBS, or ESPN, and there's the people as athletic as them that weigh twice their size running at them in the NFL, the best of the best from every school. So you never really know until, you kind of get a couple seasons in, so this is obviously, we don't know, but I think we can all safely say Trevor Lawrence is that guy. He's the dude, you know what I mean? So
it all depends what they put around him too, man. He could be that dude, but if he doesn't it's very rare you find the Peyton Mannings, the Andrew Lucks, the Aaron Rodgers that can make guys better around them.
But that's what they compare him to.
Let's pray that is what happens there.
I'm about to be a Jacksonville fan, so when the Eagles messes up this draft, it's kind of green. I'm not going to the Jets. No offense. I'm gonna be with Urban Meyer in them.
I'm kind of hesitant being a Jets fan as always, anyway. So, but we know what's going 1. We know Lawrence is going 1. We know 2 is Wilson from what the Jets have said already. We're taking Zach Wilson. We got rid of Darnold. So this is going to be the new guy that we're bringing in. 49ers are in a toss-up. They already said that they're not taking Justin Fields. They're tied, and I don't get that.
They smoking that good. I don't understand that one.
So it's in a tug of war between ownership or the front office and the head coach. Front office wants Trey Lance, head coach wants Mac Jones. What do you see San Francisco doing at that position? Could they be like pulling the cover over our eyes and they're really going to take Justin Fields? Or
honestly, that could really honestly be it. Now I know on our mocks, you put Mac, I put Trey, right? I'm not that look. I know we saw Mac Jones in the biggest stage win it all, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not as sold on Mac Jones as people are because he is spoiled with the talent that he had around him. Super spoiled. And let's look at the NFL right now. Tom Brady aside, because Tom Brady is an anomaly that will never be replicated. Who would you say right now are the better quarterbacks in the NFL? We got Deshaun Watson, with obviously everything he's going through, but Deshaun Watson, he's pretty mobile, right? Patrick Mahomes, he's pretty mobile, right? Who would you say?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, super mobile.
Mm-hmm.
So Mac Jones hasn't shown me anything about outside the pocket. Everything he does is because it's that spread. It's that spread where you got Jalen Waddle on one end, Devontae Smith. You still have Ruggs and Judy with you on the field. Well, he didn't have that, but you have a superstar wide receiver core, the best offensive line in college football, the best or second best running back in college football. Like, you're spoiled. You're super spoiled. So if Mac Jones, now, who's more ready to win right now? Probably Mac Jones over Trey. But long term, I think Trey Lance fits what the NFL is looking for right now. Somebody who's able to get out the pocket and create.
I agree. I think you hit the nail right on the head though, because I think what the ownership sees or the front office sees is that they see that a mobile quarterback will get you wins right now.
Yeah.
I think the prototypical quarterback that's been there under the Shanahan, it's Shanahan, right? Kyle Shanahan's head coach?
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
Under the Shanahan regime has been the pocket quarterback because Garoppolo ain't no runner. He's not really a runner.
Yeah, he's not. And when he tried to run, he tore his ACL.
Yeah, exactly. Bethard isn't a runner. The other guy that's the backup, he's not really a runner.
Yeah.
That's the type of quarterbacks that have been there in San Francisco. Even Alex Smith, going back to Alex Smith, he's not really a running quarterback. He's more of a pocket, game manager type of guy. And that's what they think Mac Jones is. I don't knock that. Like I admire the guys that play that style of football, but you better get a good O-line and you better have a great O-line and you better have weapons for him to be throwing to. And in my opinion, the guys in the 49ers, there's nobody that catches my eye that's a great talent out there, wide receiver, running back wise.
Well, I mean, Debo's okay. Debo's a good receiver. I want to see more from him, but to his defense, I mean, who is he playing with, like quarterback wise? Like it's really hard. It's really hard to say that he's a bad receiver because I haven't seen enough to know that. And then who else? I mean, who else do they have outside of Goodwin?
I don't even know. I don't even think Goodwin's there anymore. But like most,
not Goodwin outside of Debo because I know Goodwin's gone.
They have Ayuk that they drafted in the first round.
Brandon Ayuk is good. Brandon Ayuk is a good receiver. So Debo and Brandon are two good receivers. Who else they got?
I couldn't tell you, man. Like, I don't know the 49ers like that.
They had what's his name who just retired because all the concussions, the tight end.
They have Kittle too. I mean,
they have Kittle. Bro, what are you talking about? They have Debo, Brandon Ayuk, and Kittle, and an amazing running game.
Yeah,
and a very good offensive line. So honestly, to answer your question, what do I see? They're gonna draft Mac Jones.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's a win now move.
That's what the pitch that Shanahan has to make to the front office. That's what he has to do. He's got to go in there and say, listen, this is what we've been doing here. This is what we need to get done. Let's keep it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We've already been to the promised land once. Let's go try it this way.
I bet. So did they say who said what? Like who wants Lance and who wants Mac, or that's just a report?
No, that's what I told you is what it is. The front office wants Lance, and
Yes.
and Shanahan is high off of.
Go back and look at Shanahan's track record. He's had Kirk Cousins when he was an offensive coordinator in Washington. He had Matt Ryan with the Falcons when he was doing that thing. He's had Schaub over in Houston. They all look like Mac Jones. They all play like Mac Jones. I wish I could redo my mock 1,000%. If it's his decision, that's the thing. If it's his decision, because I was hearing on I was watching Shannon and Skip talk about it, because Shannon Sharp is really close to Mike Shanahan, Kyle's father.
Yeah, and
Mike is like kind of like the final say all, because Kyle, whatever Mike says, Kyle's going to go with. And Mike, remember when RG3 and Kirk Cousins were in the draft, and they got drafted in the same year?
Yeah.
The front office wanted RG3, and he wanted Kirk Cousins. So if the final decision is with the coach, they're definitely going with Mac Jones. If the final decision is with the GM, because ultimately it is, they'll probably go Trey Lance. But if that's the case, I think Mac Jones is definitely going to be going at 3. Just because of that, just because of Shanahan. That's what he wants. Because he had Garoppolo and they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm pretty sure because Mac Jones threw 77% last year. If your quarterback can stay healthy and he's throwing in the upper 70s like Drew Brees does, you expect to go to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, definitely, Mac Jones.
The Shanahan effect is live, man.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said, what's the tiff with Justin Fields? Like, why is nobody giving him respect? Like, he looked like a solid first overall pick, and then Lawrence said he's coming out. Then we said, okay, well, he's definitely going to. And now he's starting to slide. What's the tiff do you think teams have with him coming into the draft?
Besides that, he's a black quarterback. Besides that,
I mean, that's definitely a big thing.
No. I think in this day and age, because of the new quarterback is a black quarterback, they look past that. So I don't think that's what it is. He probably does not. I don't know. It could just be his interviewing skills. They're like, I'm a recruiter, right? And I see people's resumes all the time. And some people have the most amazing resumes. So, for example, Justin Fields, his tape, his stats, his accolades are probably amazing. But those same people I recruit that have an amazing resume, horrible interviewers. They probably say things that, like, damn. So like, I've seen people. What's up?
Said, don't say the N-word in the interview.
I've seen people with amazing resumes that just don't test well, or they just don't interview well. It could just be that he's probably just not a great interviewer and just rubbing people the wrong way. He's probably not the most fun person to be around. I don't know. It could be that. But, and it could also be they're tired of seeing Ohio State quarterbacks that continuously are not good in the NFL. I mean, it's like a trend. Like, I remember when the Giants drafted Daniel Jones, and I laughed my ass off. I'm like, you didn't draft Dwayne Haskins? And then he went 15, and he's off the team in 3 years. So, I mean, you can keep going back. Like, they even had, what's his name that won the Heisman back in 2006?
Troy Smith.
They've had players that have changed from quarterback to receiver in the NFL now. They've had a lot of quarterbacks that do really good at Ohio State, but they can't cut it in the NFL. They're probably just assuming he's just another one of those, those Ohio State boys that can't cut it over here. Could be that.
I kind of agree with you there. I could play the black quarterback stigma as well. I don't know what it is, man. I know some teams really, really like him. I know Bill Belichick loves him. And if Bill can make the move up to get him, I bet he would.
Did you see that video that the NFL posted that Cam Newton was at I think it's either Cam Newton was at Justin Fields' high school thing, or Justin Fields came to Cam Newton's camp. But Cam Newton, this is like when Justin Fields was still in high school. This is the best quarterback in high school. He's about to tear it up. And if he's the type of quarterback that's like, yo, coach, you should draft him, then maybe, But when have you ever seen Bill Belichick go draft the quarterback in the first round?
True, but also, when have you ever seen Bill Belichick, one, stay in the first round, and two, pay a lot of money to get players this year? Like, he doesn't do that.
Because typically Bill Belichick is drafting 29, 30, 31, or 32. This is the first time he's at 15, so it's very weird. Like, oh, he's drafting at 15. Whoa. But he's probably going to trade back. He's probably going to trade back or trade out of the first round altogether. But quarterback in the first, it doesn't, that and Bill Belichick does not go hand in hand to me.
Yeah, it doesn't for me either. But if Bill sits pretty at 15 and something falls to him, like, Bill's in a nice place for something really good to fall to him. That's talent-wise. When you keep looking, it could be Devontae Smith, it could be Justin Fields, it could be Parsons, man. There's no reasons Parsons isn't going in the top 10.
Originally, I think the one I sent you yesterday, the mocks that I sent you, I had Justin Fields falling to 15 to Bill. But then I slept on it. I woke up this morning. I went to the new Crunch in South Tampa now because I'm
which is like packed. It's like a sardine can.
It really is, because it's smaller too. I was like, damn, this is a small ass Crunch. But anyway, I'm riding a little exercise bike, and I look on the screen looking at who had picks, and it hit me on the exercise bike. Bill Belichick is not drafting the quarterback in the first round. It don't matter who. It does. And that's when I texted you. I'm changing my draft. Ain't no way Bill Belichick is drafting the quarterback in the first.
So, with that being said, there's definitely going to be a trade. We'll get to that into the next segment about what we think could happen trade-wise. Fields may fall. We know Lance will probably be. Actually, it could be Fields or Lance that goes next. It depends. But the Bears need a quarterback, and they're pretty, antsy to get one. The likeliness of Fields falling there is pretty low that he's going to fall to the Bears. So my question is, do you see anybody outside of those five entering the first round, and kind of like a Trask, kind of like a Mond, Ellinger, somebody like that the Bears
think about it. Why the hell would they trade? Why the hell would they waste the first round pick on a player that they know is going to be there in the second? Trask is going to be available for them in the second, so they might trade up in the second round to go get him, or the third round. But there's no reason to trade. I mean, there's no reason to draft the quarterback in the first if it's not the top five.
It's true, but historically, it's been proven. I mean, the one guy I was thinking a couple podcasts ago that the Browns tried to draft and hope he would pan out was Brandon Whedon. That guy was like over the hill quarterback and did absolutely nothing.
He's 28 years old when they drafted him.
Yeah, and he went first round.
Yeah, I remember.
Historically, anything can happen. I mean, Trask's numbers look nice. His NFL grade is pretty high. I think it's in the top 15. So that's pretty good.
Listen, you know why Trask's numbers look great?
Because of his wide receivers.
And
because of Kyle Pitts.
Because of the top, to me, the best player in the draft, Kyle Pitts, because of him. That's why, because I've seen him play without Kyle Pitts on the field. It's not the same. Mm-hmm. Not the same. Kyle Pitts is a monster. So Trask is talented. Don't get me wrong. But I personally would not draft him in the second round either. Now, will I eat my words? I don't know. It depends on who drafts him. But the Bears, who they got? Allen Robinson, that's it. They got the good running back, but it's not like the Bears are a crazy destination I'll be running to go to. Because even with the Packers, like look at the division. They got Aaron Rodgers to deal with. And when Aaron Rodgers is gone, I'm pretty sure Jordan Love is going to – you know how Aaron Rodgers did to Brett Favre? I have a very good feeling that Jordan Love is going to be the same thing to Aaron Rodgers, where he just takes over and keeps that shit going, because that's how they do it in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Detroit sucks, so they know they're going to suck forever. Minnesota, they're either great or not. Great or not. So it's like, it just depends on what the year is. So
Yeah, it depends on if they want to show up or not.
yeah.
And fuck Brett Favre, man. I don't want to talk about Brett Favre.
Yo, for real. Listen, I used to love Brett Favre, but that boy is sleep, unwoke. I'm like, bro, you need to wake the fuck up and read the room, bro.
talk football and do your copper commercials and
Listen, man, I last year, because of COVID, I bought a mask so I can go to the gym with. It was the copper. What is it called?
the
Copperhead.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
The copper mask. I bought one too, and that shit was uncomfortable. I'm like, damn, Brett Favre, you screwed me once, you screwed me twice, you screwed me 1,000 times, bro. I'm tired of Brett. Brett need to go somewhere. Go back. He from Mississippi, so I get it. I understand.
Let's go to the next segment. Surprise. Teams are looking to wheel and deal. Now that Teddy Bridgewater has been moved.
Random, but not random, but it happened.
I feel bad. This is why I say the black quarterback, man. Teddy did nothing wrong last year. Teddy had a decent year.
Listen,
he had no line and it's not Teddy's fault.
That is the thing about Teddy is that he's not athletic. It's crazy to say because the whole notion of a black quarterback is the athletic quarterback. Even if Teddy was white, it'd be the same thing because Teddy is just for a dude from South Florida, he's not athletic. Yeah. He's athletic if you're from Utah or North Dakota, but for somebody he went to Miami Northwestern, right?
Yeah.
He's from Miami. I'm like, bruh, how are you not more athletic? It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So his game just doesn't. Sam Darnold, remember that run he had? I think it was Monday Night Football.
70 yards.
He dunked. I was like, oh, that dude's athletic. Teddy Bridgewater, he don't got that, and he got an effed up knee on top of that. So it's like
I think that's why. I think ever since that he changed his style of play because
he was never athletic. Come on.
I remember watching. I watched him play USF, and I remember watching him in that game, and he was moving around like crazy.
Nah, but he's still nice. Don't get me wrong. I love Teddy. Teddy. Oh, he just needs to be in a situation where they want a veteran quarterback. He's getting that Tyrod Taylor treatment.
Yeah, it's starting to happen now. And I think, but I think he ended up in a good place because John Elway loves a good quarterback. I think Teddy's good, and he's got two good receivers and a good tight end out there.
I think the Broncos still probably draft a quarterback in the first round.
I agree. No, I'm not fighting that, but I agree.
I don't know. That's confusing.
John Elway loves competition. So, question I have for you is, what teams do you think could move up and move down in this draft? Like, let's go first. Who do you see could move up to snag somebody?
The Broncos. Well, see, when I was originally thinking about this question, the Broncos, but then they got Teddy, and I don't know what they're trying to do because they got Teddy, and they got oh boy from Memphis that they just got cool kid that knows rap songs.
It ain't Paxton Lynch.
No, not Paxton Lynch. God, Lee.
You talking about Drew Lock?
Drew Lock. Jesus Lord. My listen, I just moved, guys. My brain is not where it needs to be. Drew Lock. They got Drew Lock, who's a guy, he's a nice guy, but he's not a franchise quarterback. And they got Teddy Bridgewater, who to me is the same thing. Very, you like the guy. You want him to be successful, but he's probably not your franchise quarterback. So what does San Francisco do at 3? If they draft Mac Jones, I think Broncos probably go trade up and go get Trey Lance. Why? They have Teddy Bridgewater start this year. They get rid of Drew Lock, and they kind of have Trey Lance just prepare, right? But if the 49ers draft Mac Jones, Trey Lance, I don't think the Broncos would want Mac Jones. So it really just depends. Like the 49ers moving up to 3 a couple of weeks ago kind of really changed the landscape of the draft to me. Mm-hmm. So I think the Broncos are going to move up, but that just really contingent on what the 49ers do. I think that you said just trading up right for now, right?
Yeah, what teams do you think could trade up?
People keep talking about the Patriots trading up. I don't see it.
I don't either.
I think if I had to choose not even a wild card, but two teams that would make sense if they're desperate to like, all right, let's go get this guy, Washington or Chicago.
Yeah, that was mine with Chicago for sure.
To me, I don't know what they're looking for, right? Washington, they just had the Dwayne Haskins experience, and now they have, the Heineke, whatever. They're off of Alex Smith now. So Washington may feel like our defense is this good. We got some weapons on the outside. Let's just go trade up because they got what's his name? Fitzpatrick and Heineke. They're not going to be the reason why you win the Super Bowl.
No,
but you can go get you a Mac Jones at trade up to go get him or go trade. If Mac Jones does not get drafted by the 49ers and he starts to fall a little bit, you'll see Washington or Chicago go after him because Andy Dalton, Mitchell Trubisky, Heineken, and Fitzpatrick are not taking you to the promised land. They're good stories, but they're not taking you to the promised land.
Yeah, Trubisky's in Buffalo now, so you ain't got to worry about him anymore.
He's in Buffalo?
Yeah, he's a backup now. So
damn, I missed that.
Yeah, so the Washington and the Bears are kind of in the same situation if you think about it.
Yeah.
They have kind of like the makings of a decent offense, a good O-line, and a defense that's going to be the majority of your game, like the game changer for you. So all you need is a guy at the helm that you can coast by with.
Correct.
And I think the perfect guys for that are, Fitzpatrick and the Red Rocket are two good guys to have there. The problem is you don't have them for a very long time because they're obviously up there in age.
Correct.
So I think the Bears have been really linked to Mac Jones and they like Mac Jones. So if Mac Jones doesn't go 3, they could just wait and maybe pick up Mond or Ellinger or Trask in the second round. And then same thing with the Washington football team. Like they could easily do that as well. But I would agree if someone were to move up, it's gotta be one of those two teams to move up.
Based on the news that we just got, what do you think the Broncos are thinking? What the Broncos are thinking?
Actually, I think Broncos could move up 2 to 4 and take
because Atlanta's willing to trade that pick.
Atlanta was waiting for the right thing, and the problem is I know Denver doesn't want to give up too much because they're not sitting in a bad spot to get a quarterback, but is it the quarterback that they want to get?
Correct. Because the scary thing about them is that they're right behind Carolina. Now I know this guy Sam, but Carolina they made it clear we're not out of the running for a quarterback. And so they're obviously putting that information out there so that maybe a team will get desperate and trade with them. But Carolina and Atlanta are two teams. So if we get to the segment about the trading down, Atlanta could probably trade down. Detroit will probably trade down because in my mock, I have Detroit trading down with Denver. So because I have San Francisco picking Trey Lance, and then Denver is like, oh, Justin Fields is still available. So Denver will go ahead of Carolina to make sure that Carolina doesn't draft Justin Fields because I think they would draft Justin Fields if he's there. Because to me, I think Justin Fields is a little better than Sam Darnold. So we're looking at teams that can potentially trade down. Detroit at 7, I think they can trade down. Atlanta at 4 can trade down. And that means at 4 and 7, there's a quarterback you really want. Yeah. And that's where teams will probably trade into.
Yeah, and the other thing is if Mac Jones goes 3, Atlanta's been pretty high on Trey Lance and Justin Fields. So
Atlanta's been real high on Trey Lance.
Yeah, so they could take one of those guys at 4. Don't sleep on it.
Yeah, of course.
That could definitely happen.
But you think they would take a quarterback like this team right now? Let's say they don't trade Julio. They keep Julio and Calvin. Let's say you add, because Matt Ryan as presently constructed, can still win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
No, it's an absolute one. There's nothing wrong with
Okay.
the offense.
So
The offense.
at 4, if Atlanta has no business to me drafting a quarterback at 4, because it just depends on what the GM sees for the team. Do we think we can beat Tampa Bay? Probably not right now. Do we think we can beat New Orleans? Probably not right now. Carolina? I mean, Carolina got a pretty good defense. McCaffrey will be back. We'll see what they do on quarterback. I think they may draft Rashawn Slater will help their offensive line. Carolina is not terrible either. So it's like Atlanta has. I think it comes down to what's Atlanta thinking, because if they're thinking for now, Kyle Pitts would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're thinking for the future, then I think they trade down and go get. I don't know. It's so confusing with it because they're in a weird position where they're good enough, but they're not good enough.
Yeah, they're shocking us right now because now they're taking calls on Julio Jones. Their draft date coming right around the corner, so they could make a package to get him and do something. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But there's a new GM, right? There's a new GM in Atlanta.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
There's a new head coach in Atlanta.
Yep.
So there's a whole different lay of the land now. And that's what always happens when somebody else comes in.
They want their quarterback.
Yeah, that's the way.
If a new coach and new GM click up, they want their quarterback. That's a good point.
That's the way I always see it as.
Yeah.
And look at the Jets, for instance. Like, we pulled the greatest draft trickery that I can think of, because as I'll always ride the Sam Darnold train to the wheels fall off, man. He was supposed to go first in that draft.
Yeah.
And we brought in Baker Mayfield for a workout, and we decided to open our mouth and say, wow, this guy's really good. So Cleveland, not doing their homework, brought him in, and they decided to take him, and then we ended up getting Darnold. So I was like, wow, that was really good. Then we fired the GM who made that move. So Joe Douglas wasn't for it, and Joe Douglas got rid of it. So change the guard.
Go Eagles.
Yeah. So, I could see Pitts would be the ideal thing to get there.
If they're trying to win now.
If you're trying to win now.
Yeah.
But if you want to build for the future, I could see Justin Fields going or Trey Lance. So it's really what they should do. Like you said, if I had to pick a team to move back, it'd be Atlanta, it would be Detroit, and you always got to put the Patriots in there to move back as well.
The Patriots are gonna move back. They don't listen. I have like a man crush on Bill Belichick. I'm like, this dude is such a shrewd operator, because everything that has to do with the New England Patriots starts and stops with him. Mm-hmm. He is a very good. Now he's missed on some picks, like they killed Harry, and a lot of they drafted 2 tight ends last year. He might be losing his luster a little bit, but when he started spending money this season, and he watched his boy Tom Brady that he created win another Super Bowl, I feel like he's back in that mode where, like, I'm about to show them something. So he might trade back. Yeah, what about later in the round? Anybody later? Like a little small move?
Like, I mean, the Bucks could move out.
The Bucks will probably move out.
Bucks could move out. I mean,
yeah, because they don't need anything at first. They can acquire, yeah.
Yeah, and even at that, like Baltimore has now a pick at the very end. They could move back and get more picks for that as well.
Yeah.
A lot of things that are enticing that could happen. It just depends who needs what. At the last 3, that's where you move back into the second round. So
correct.
People are always trying to wheel and deal there.
Yeah.
So anything can happen at
that. I think the Chiefs, because they got what's his name, Brown from the Ravens. I think they don't really even have a need to pick right now, so they can guard, because they're looking to upgrade their defense. So what they should do is trade that pick and go add more players that they can put in their defense in the second, third, or fourth, fifth, whatever round. Yeah. So I feel like the Chiefs and Bucks late are good contenders, unless it's like a player they're like, wow, I can't believe no one drafted him. So
yeah. So we did teams that could move and up and down. Let's do players. If you had to pick a player that could fall in this draft, who would you say would be one that would fall? I got 3. I got 3 really good ones. I think I've said them already. So
I said Mac, but Justin Fields too. Those two, It's crazy. The 49ers have so much power in this draft. I have no idea. Because depending on what they do, will change the whole landscape of the draft.
The Dolphins do as well too. If you think about it, the Dolphins just traded Eric Flowers back to Washington.
True. Good point.
They could be going for Sewell.
Good point.
And even at that, they asked the guy, the GM, and he had Waddle over Chase in his draft. I don't get that.
You know why? Because Tua played really well with Waddle, and Jamar Chase went to LSU. So Tua, that's all Tua right there. So that one doesn't surprise me. Now listen, if the Dolphins, oh my God, if the Dolphins draft Jalen Waddle, whatever. Listen, we'll get to. Never mind. I would say we're gonna table this because we're gonna talk about the Jets and the Eagles a little bit later. But back to your original question. What was your original question?
What players could fall?
The players, Mac and Fields, because only God knows what's gonna happen with that one. Mm-hmm. Outside of them, weirdly, I feel like Michael Parsons could fall.
That's one of mine. He's got a lot of off-field baggage. So
yeah, that one weirdly could probably fall too. Those are like my three.
Yeah, so I got Justin Fields just because everyone's just like passing on him for some reason, and I don't get why. I can see Justin Fields falling maybe as low as Chicago with that pick there. I could see him there. Micah Parsons is definitely, in my opinion, a top 6.
Everyone's saying he's a top 8 talent, period.
Yeah, he's definitely a top 10 talent.
Yeah.
And he could fall to the Patriots and Bill Belichick, another turning of the wheel of a linebacker. He could just be the start of a new regime.
Who am I picked in my mock draft?
We both picked it. So
Michael Parsons would be perfect for Bill.
He would. He loves him a good linebacker.
Absolutely.
Him and the Bengals love disgruntled players, and Oakland or
no. But here's the difference: the Bengals do a terrible job with the disgruntled players because they still get in trouble with the Bengals.
Yeah, they get too many gun charges on those boys. And the other one I have is Devonta Smith. That's the other one that I have that could fall because
that one too. Yeah, that one too.
He's very depreciated on his size, and I hope he proves the league wrong because Marvin Harrison wasn't huge. But Marvin Harrison made some big fucking plays.
That's a comparison I've heard as well. Now listen, about Devontae, I was watching an interview of him earlier today. Mm-hmm. If he has to visit any GM, any president of the team or coach, he will blow them away just by the way he carries himself. His size could be a reason why he falls. But all you have to do is bring him to the room, and you will know he plays way bigger than his size. He acts bigger than his size. So I don't think he's going to drop based on his character.
I think that's undervalued a lot in the NFL now, and I hate that. I think
character
because it's hard. A guy with good character, in my opinion, is more coachable than a disgruntled player.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, of course.
Like that's got to be a given, and I feel like that is not looked at anymore. They look. What was the guy that came out of was it Oklahoma State or Oregon State? Justin Blackman.
Yeah, the receiver.
Yeah, the one to
4th overall pick by the Jacksonville Jags.
And he started off really hot, but he was a head case, and he couldn't keep it together. And then look at old boy from Baylor that was with the Browns and the Patriots and the
Gordon.
Yeah, Josh Gordon. That's another one.
Talent. I've heard about Gordon, separated Blackman from Gordon. I heard Gordon as a person. That's what. Think about it. There's a reason why Blackman got suspended and he was out the NFL forever with Jacksonville. He never even got considered again, right? No. There's a reason why Gordon still gets brought around because he's actually a great character guy as a person. He has a demon that he can't get rid of, and part of it's not even really a demon. I mean. Yes, he did a lot worse than weed before. I don't know what he's testing negative for, what he's testing positive for now, but it's not like
it's not attitude.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like
It's not positive attitude.
it's he has a great attitude. Trust me. He's just you know like
Yeah,
we talked about DMX a couple weeks ago. DMX had demons. It's like
I get it. I
yeah,
get it.
some people just got that.
One last guy that I think could fall, and he was supposed to be the best cornerback in the draft is Caleb Fairley.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that
That's
too.
his back surgeries. That's another
Yeah,
big one. But now the Saints apparently love him, so
that's what. But
be a good get for him at that point.
who go look at my mock draft? Who do I have the Saints drafting? Caleb Fairley. Listen, I'm good at what I do. Y'all just wait for it to happen. But anyway,
Let's see. Who do you think could rise now in this draft? Who's a player who could rise?
who can rise in this draft based on what they're being projected as right now?
Yeah.
So a lot of people got Patrick Surtain going like between 10 and 14. He could go top 7. So that's not a huge rise. But Patrick Surtain, I think at some point you realize he's literally. Remember when Okuda got drafted 4th by the Browns?
Yeah.
Wait, no, not Okuda. Denzel Ward. I'm sorry. Denzel Ward got drafted because Okuda's at the Lions. Denzel Ward got drafted by the Browns 4. People didn't expect that, but he was the best corner in the draft by far. So, everyone has a pretty consistent top 6 picks. But I think very easily Patrick Surtain could just be in that mix. Who else? There's always a random offensive lineman that'll go a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, maybe Darisaw. Maybe the Eagles are stupid to draft Darisaw. But he can probably go higher. Because to me, I think Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater are 2 offensive linemen I got going in the top 10. But very easily a third, like the Broncos. Let's say they're happy with Teddy Bridge, they may just draft an offensive lineman or something, just because like, oh, all right, we got a quarterback. So, just expect a random offensive lineman to rise, and maybe a running back, maybe a Naji Harris, gets into the top 15 somehow, and because everyone's got him going 23 or 24 right now. But maybe he rises. Maybe it's something like we got to get this guy. He rises to the top 15. It could be. I mean, maybe the Patriots. Now the Patriots wouldn't do that. Dallas wouldn't do that. Minnesota wouldn't do that. How? Arizona. I did see something like that. But Arizona's drafted what? 16? Yeah, that could be a place. I mean, they just got Connor, but it's not like Connor's great. So, those are my candidates. Oh, and Christian Barrymore.
Yeah, Christian Barrymore's he's grading in top 10, like player wise.
Christian Barrymore for sure.
I can see Christian Barrymore being one. Greg, the guy from Miami, Greg Rousseau.
Russo.
He's a wild card, man.
Yeah,
he's probably one guy that could go high or he could fall to the second round. So that's one guy that I could see that could rise. I think I still think he's day 1 potential, but he could be day 2. But he's a wild card. He could go as high as like top, I want to say, in the 15. He could go there. That's one guy I have. Zaven Collins is another one from Tulsa. I know he fits the Bill Belichick mold perfectly on the linebacker role. So I think that's the guy that Bill could be targeting. But if Micah Parsons is there, he's got to make the decision. Do I fit the guy who fits the mold?
But question. Actually, no, continue.
Yeah, and then my last one I was just gonna say is Naji Harris. Naji Harris could definitely be seen 16 by Arizona,
which would break your heart.
Yeah, it would break my heart completely. It's gonna break my heart where he lands because I know it probably won't be the Jets. I know we're gonna mess up that 26 pick, but you
gotta have a little faith, my boy.
I when it comes to drafting, I do, and then we get rid of the GM that drafts well, and we bring in shit. So
welcome to being a Philadelphia Eagle fan. That's how we do. We don't make no sense whatsoever.
We have your old vice.
Exactly. That's exactly what you're getting. You're getting what we do. Hey, listen, we're linked at the hip. Fair weather fan. That's how we do. And go Knicks though. Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. Hey, it ended, but it was pretty good. It was a good
run. Go Sixers. Stop playing.
So let's compare our mocks. Let's do
Right.
that now.
Let's do that.
Our mocks are live. You can go look at them on Instagram, Facebook. They're all over the place, posted, Twitter, wherever you look at
The Fair Weather Podcast.
Yeah, you can find our mocks there. KK did I did our first round. We've got the same first 2 picks going in. We both have Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. You went Trey Lance, but I know you probably thinking more Mac Jones.
Now I'm thinking more Mac Jones now, but that was a time crunch thing.
I went Mac Jones with 3. 4, you went Atlanta keeping their pick with Kyle Pitts. You don't want to win in the now.
Yep.
I say they're going quarterback. I think they're going to take Trey Lance because they've been linked to that. And like I said, new GM, new head coach, new team, new me type of attitude there. Sit him behind Ryan, get him to teach what's going on there. Get Julio there for another year, maybe get rid of Julio next year, and then develop chemistry with him and Ridley going down that path type of thing.
But if they're thinking about trading Julio, to me, that means they're going to replace him with Kyle Pitts. He's not a receiver, obviously he's a tight end, but he's your Travis Kelce now. We lose Julio, get some draft picks, and now we have our Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't fight that one bit. I honestly think Kyle Pitts will go there. I think that's the right move. But I got the feeling that Atlanta's going to trade out of that spot and someone's going to move into that spot. That's my gut feeling to it. 5, we got Penei Sewell, both of us. That's the obvious pick, but there's also rumblings of the Chase move.
Shamar Chase, because Burrows of a Chase fan. So
linking homies up with homies. So we both said Sewell. At 6, you said Chase. I said Pitts. Pitts would look nice in Miami, in my opinion, for Tua. But now there's also that. What if Sewell's there? They could take Sewell and then
basically, if you don't really need something and Sewell's there, please go get Sewell. Like, come on, go get him. He's that good.
They're grading him as the best offensive lineman in a while, too.
Generational talent. That's the term generational talent. That's what that means.
Yeah. 7, you made a trade. You said Broncos are going to move up to get Justin Fields there.
Yep.
And I say Jamar. I just went down the line. I kept it simple. I say Jamar Chase goes to Detroit. They get the receiver that they want. 8, we both say Slater.
Yep.
We both said that. 9, you put Detroit there, getting Devonta Smith, breaking your heart. I put Justin Fields there at 9, falling to them. We both have Surtain at Dallas. You put Vera Tucker going into the Giants. I put Jalen Waddle falling there. Why they need a wide receiver, I don't know.
Originally, I had Jalen Waddle too, but they don't need a receiver. Like they don't.
But they're the Giants too, man.
Yeah.
They love high power offense. So.
That's why the Cowboys, they got CeeDee Lamb. Well, y'all ain't really need CeeDee Lamb. Y'all needed other things. Defense.
You put Waddle. I made your dream come true. I put Devonta Smith there because I honestly think he's gonna fall.
Listen, you know what I told you. Devonta Smith, my favorite player in the NFL, and he's not even there yet. So, yeah.
Vera Tucker, you put J.C. Horn going to. I like that pick actually. J.C. Horn in Southern Cal would be nice.
Yeah, it looked good when I put it on the list. I was like, ooh, that was good.
It looks like the color scheme I put too. It looks really nice. Kwity Paye to Minnesota. I put Darisaw. I think they need a line there. We both said Micah Parsons to the Patriots. You have Greg Rousseau going there.
Rousseau,
my bad. Sorry, Miami people. I put J.C. Horn. I think they need a corner now that they got rid of Patrick Patterson. They got to have somebody fill that void, get a lockdown corner. I think he's pretty good at that.
No, wait, whoa, hold up. No, man, you're right. Yeah.
You put Jeremiah Owusu, whatever his name is.
Say that right. He's Nigerian. You better say that right.
Koromoa. That sounds like
Koromoa.
That sounds like a Samoan name right there, man.
People used to think I was Samoan when they saw my name.
So you put Las Vegas getting him. I say they go O-line with Alex Leatherwood. I put Kwity Paye at 18. You put Darisaw there. You got Mac Jones falling 19. Respectable place for Mac Jones. I put your Nigerian boy there that you said that the Raiders were going to get.
JOK. He ain't no joke, though.
I think we both said Tevin Jenkins for Chicago. Goofy white boy that can, or half breed that can block. It looks
I can block exactly.
he looks like a bear. He looks definitely. Samuel Cosme, you said. I said Jackson Carman. I feel like he's gonna actually be one guy to rise in the draft because he blocked for Lawrence. So
Jackson Carman. Yeah,
we both said Jalen Phillips to Tennessee, even though they are linked to a receiver. They're like highly linked to a receiver right now.
because they gave you Corey Davis.
Yeah, and AJ Brown needs like another guy out there with him. So
I mean, I can see that. That's probably where Tony will go.
Yeah, Tony could end up there. Mitchell is falling out of like favor because of all the shit that he's like doing, and I think he has like surgeries on his ankle and stuff that people aren't like viewing first round capability. So
Yeah.
we both said Naji Harris. Probably won't happen, but
I did that for you.
Thank you.
I did that one for you.
Pittsburgh, we've said Travis I can't ever say his name.
Etienne.
Etienne, yeah. You put Trevor Morig at Jacksonville with 20.
Javon.
And I put Jamin Davis because I just like that name. Plus, he's a beast. 26, Zaven Collins. We both said Zaven Collins there. That's a good place for him to fall.
Makes sense.
Backer. You said Terrence Marshall at 27.
Terrence Marshall Jr. I've been seeing that he's been linked to them. Listen, they don't like small receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They like big boys, and that's why Hollywood Brown's not working out. They need a big boy receiver to go get that ball.
I said Jason Owe, 28. I said Christian Barmore. You said Caleb Fairley falls there finally.
I did say that.
We both said Greg Newsome for the Packers. Now they're highly courting, I think, Bateman from the
Rashad.
Yeah, I think they're looking at a receiver now.
Over Rondell Moore. Rondell Moore is a beast.
Yeah, I mean that's what I just read today. Help me out with this Nigerian name that we both put for Buffalo.
Aziz Ujirari.
Okay, that's what we both said for Buffalo. Baltimore, you said Barnmore. I said this is where Tony goes. And then I said Greg Rousseau. And then you said Levi. Say it again for me, brother.
Oh, Ruiziraka. Niger boys. We do this, man.
Nigerians be running sports, man.
See, but y'all don't want to hear it though. But listen, I'm gonna go back to your which one? Who you put Baltimore getting Tony?
I think Tony's the guy that
you know why they won't get Tony? Because they already have a Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
They don't need a Tony. They need a big body. Think about it. Who did they bring in last year in free agency? Old guy.
Des Bryant.
Exactly. Des Bryant is 55 years old. The reason why they brought him in, remember when they had Anquan Bolden, and they want a big boy receiver that can go get that. Terrence Marshall's 6'3". That's a boy that can go get that. You know what I mean? So Kadarius Toney wouldn't make sense for what they're trying, because they already have Hollywood. So they have Mark Andrews, because that's why Lamar has so much success with the tight ends, Boyle and Mark Andrews, and he will have a lot of success going down the field toward Terrence Marshall Jr. Hollywood Brown could take a lot of the underneath. The running game is going to be started again. So to me, that one makes a little bit more sense.
How tall is Tony?
Tony is like what, 6 foot?
Yeah.
He's
smaller than that.
He might be smaller. Hold on. 5'10". No.
Yeah.
I lied. Let me 6 foot. 6 foot. Yeah, that's right. 6 foot.
So he about 5'10" then.
He's probably like 5'10" and a half.
How tall is Bateman?
They got him listed at 6'10", 180.
How tall is Bateman?
Bateman, he's about the same height. Rashad's not a big boy either. Hold on, let me ask my 6'2". Oh,
I think Bateman could be the guy then. If that, I retract Coney and I put him in there. Bateman.
I'm still with that. Look, I'm gonna be right. Terrence Marshall Jr.
I'm not mad with that pick. I mean, the LSU guys do shine. So,
the Eagles were linked to Terrence Marshall Jr. in the second round because we got the 37th pick, which is 5 after the fifth one in the second round. So if he's there, I know we'll probably go get him. But Basically, the reason why, so in my mock, I put J.C. Horn, you put Devontae Smith. The
Mhm.
reason why I put J.C. Horn is because I know they're high on getting a corner in the first round. There's been people saying that we're going to trade up, like probably Detroit, to go get Patrick Surtain, so that Dallas doesn't get him. I've been seeing that, so we probably there. It's either we trade up to go get Justin Fields or something, which I would not be excited about, even though I like Justin Fields. Or we're gonna get Patrick Surtain. But if we get Patrick Surtain in the first, the expectation is that Terrence Marshall Jr. is going to be there in the second, because that's what they want. They want a big boy receiver or a generational talent receiver. Devontae Smith, to me, is that kind of player, this generational talent. So, but I think Terrence Marshall, to me, makes a lot more sense for Baltimore if he's available at 31. Or I got to go in 27, but it could be Christian Barmore goes 27, and then they get Terrence Marshall at 31.
I think you know how like each year you get like sneaky guys coming into it, like
Yeah.
the top guys fall and then teams start to panic and like
Yeah.
we got to take this guy, even though we all know he's a day 2 or 3.
Yeah, but he's a name we gotta get him. Yeah.
No, I know, but like I think Marshall, in my opinion, looking at the lay of the land, is definitely a day 2 pick.
Think about it. I'm an
But
Eagles
all,
fan.
all I'm trying to say is that I think that a lot of receivers now are going to enter into the first round. Like I think Marshall could go in.
Listen to me. I'm an Eagles fan, right?
Mhm.
Jalen Rieger was not a first round talent or a first round mention. Our dumbasses got stupid and desperate. Like, oh, we got to draft a receiver that's not named Justin Jefferson, who's right. Minnesota pick right after us. And we go get Jalen Rieger. You know what I mean? So to me, it's not surprising to see a day 2 receiver slip right into the first round, because there's a dumb team that makes a dumb decision every day, every year. So
it's true. It's true. I'm not fighting that. I'm really scared with our 23rd pick, man. I really hope we keep it, and I hope we draft well there. But what's available?
Y'all gonna draft a punter?
Yeah, man. That's really not gonna happen. But I
Joe
mean,
Douglas is gonna make sure y'all get that punter.
All right, let's get back to the script. So we did our mocks. We explained, that expectations. Let's do expectations for our teams. You want me to go first and what I expect out of my teams?
JETS, let's go.
Let's end the season, man. So 2, we all know it's going quarterback. Everybody knows it has to be quarterback. It's pretty sold on Zach Wilson. There's like that slight 3% it could be Justin Fields, maybe. I think it stays Zach Wilson unless something catastrophically changes tomorrow.
Nothing's changing, bro.
It's going to be Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Unless we catch Zach Wilson with the bong mask on, then
Laramie Tunsil style.
It'll be some crazy stuff. But yeah, Zach Wilson, and then at 23, it's very interesting what could happen there for us, because I want to stay offense, but realistically, we need everything. We need everything there. So like, if a guy like Greg Rousseau falls to us, like snatch him up. If Kwity Paye is there, snatch him up.
Kwity Paye, nice. Go blue.
Kwity Paye is nice. Yeah. If a good O lineman is there that we are coveting and is on our draft board, get him. The only guy I really don't want to get, and I know he'll probably be good, but he won't make a immediate impact, might be Fairley, because that back surgery really scares me. He sat out the entire year for COVID too. I mean, I know he got it done during COVID, so like he got it out of the way, but back surgery really scares me. That's a big major. You could easily go to paralysis.
Your back controls your whole body.
So he's a scary one, and I hope that's one that they don't take the gamble on. I want him to get paid. I want him to get his money. I want him to be on an NFL team. But if the Jets make a gamble on him, make it a day 2 gamble, not in day 1. I can't have that happen. So
you have him as like a potential drop candidate then.
Yeah, I told you that. I could see him dropping to the second round. Okay. My gut tells me they're going to take defense with that second pick. So all I want them to do is take the best available there. Whatever's there and it looks good, do it. If Naji Harris is there, please draft him. If there's some insight, God, I hope if you're listening to me, if there's some insight that he could fall day 2 and be our second pick day 2, Please take that. I want that bad. That's what I really want. I don't need any
Travis
other.
Etienne will be fine if you get him. Don't worry.
Devonta Williams is good too, but I'd rather Najee Harris.
Javion Hawkins, Chuba Hubbard. There's some good running backs out there. Don't be so pressed on getting one in the first round.
I know, but at that point, at that place position, I'm okay with it. But enough of me. Expectations for the Eagles at that pick.
So we've been linked as a football club. We've been linked to getting an Alabama player.
Name that It's our new game show. Name that Alabama player going to Philly.
Basically, what's gonna happen? Because you sent me that stupid ass video when they draft. Anyway, when they drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson, and everybody laughed at us. What's gonna happen is that they're gonna be asleep for 11 rounds, and then they're gonna wake up. They're like, "Oh, it's time for us to draft, right?" And open up the laptop. Name that Alabama road top player that's available. We're even linked to Christian Barmore, by the way. So whoever's on the board, it could be Jalen Waddle. God, I would not be mad if it's Patrick Surtain, but who I want, expectations versus what I want is two different things. Devontae Smith, that boy, he's different. Like, he's so humble. He has a Nissan Altima, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm good with my Nissan Altima." I'm like, "What, Devontae?" That stuff like that makes me happy. You like, low key, you're not a diva receiver. You're gonna give if we have to keep. Oh my God, what's his name? Our quarterback. Give me his name again.
Jalen Hurts. How do you?
Jalen Hurts. Listen, for whatever reason, I guess I'm not in love with Jalen Hurts as our quarterback because I always forget his name. I'll tell you Sudfeld's name. I'll tell you Ron Jaworski's name, but I'll forget Justin Fields' name. But Justin Fields, he's gonna give him time to kind of like, oh, Devontae won't give him a hard time like T.O. gave McNabb. Jalen Reagor, he's healthy, maybe, but Devontae, that's the dude. That's who I want. What I think we're gonna do if we don't trade, J.C. Horn.
That's not a bad pick, though.
I don't want J.C. Horn. Roll Tide. Give me Surtain so the Cowboys don't get him. Give me Devontae Smith because that's my favorite player in the NFL. Or give me Jalen Waddle because Devontae Smith that said that Jalen Waddle is faster than Ruggs. Ruggs ran at 4.2740. And I don't think Jalen Waddle ran his 40. And he said Jalen Waddle's faster than Ruggs. But I don't like speedy receivers. But because unless they're Tyreek Hill. Me personally, bro, just give me Devontae Smith.
So you want a receiver regardless?
I want Devontae Smith. He could play kicker. I want Devontae Smith on my team. Devontae Smith's character is what I want. Because that's what we don't have in Philly right now. We need to build around him, and I'll be happy.
That's a good character to have, and I'm honestly not mad with the pick of that. That would be that's my place, honestly, for him to land would be there.
Bro, I want to get rid of Howie Roseman so bad, but if he drafts Devontae Smith, I'll give him 2 years, 3 years where I won't say another bad thing about him. I'm like, look, Howie, that wasn't your fault, that was my fault. Or Howie, come to my barbecue. I would never give Howie a bad time again if he gets me Devontae Smith. Because he's not going to be able to get me Kyle Pitts. So get me Devontae Smith.
So one last segment before we sign off. There are 4 teams that have 2 picks in the first round. Jacksonville, New York, Miami, and now Baltimore. What team do you think? I mean, you could throw any team in there in the first round, I guess. What team do you think will have the best draft overall? I would say overall.
You know what is going to have the best draft? Baltimore.
You think Baltimore?
Somehow they always just figure it out. It's going to be one of those teams that, because Jacksonville, we know who Jacksonville's going to get. Okay, so it's easy to say, yeah, A+. Because of the draft grades. Oh, A+, Jacksonville, right? But it may not be that simple because it may take time, right? Baltimore, Cleveland Browns, maybe too. Pittsburgh, like those AFC North teams, they always just find a way to just kind of be like figure it out. Notice how I didn't say the Bengals because the Bengals are not like built like that. But Baltimore, they got 2 picks in the bottom. They can turn those 2 picks into something else, but those 2 picks, they're gonna get exactly what they want and they're gonna get exactly what they need. Because Baltimore seems to always do that. They get what they want and what they need. So that's why I had it where they somehow get Christian Barmore because Barmore to me is the top 15 talent. And they're going to find a way to get him and integrate him into their defense, which would be perfect for Lamar's defense and then perfect for Lamar's offense. Big boy receiver like a Terrace Marshall, who at now we're like, we don't know. But by week 8, you're like, oh, that was a great pick. So I got Baltimore as my like the one that can actually win it. And then Cleveland as a wild card because I don't know they figured it out in Cleveland.
I'm sticking with one team. I'm sticking with the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins have like the best. Like if you look at the first round positioning,
you're absolutely right.
they traded out of 3. Like Laramie Tunsil's a blessing in disguise. They just inherited so many draft picks for him, and then they traded out of 3 to go down to 6 to get more draft picks, and now they have the 6th pick and the 18th pick. 16, we know they'll probably go offense unless Sewell is offense. They'll go O-line there on the offensive side if he falls. But they can easily get a Jamar Chase or Fields there. I mean, not Fields, Pitts there if he falls. And then at 18, one of these defensive players are going to fall. It could even be Micah Parsons to fall there. It could be Kwity Paye. Somebody could be there for them to get.
No, you're right.
And then Eric Flowers too. They just traded him, so now you get more draft picks for that.
How confident are you in their front office? They did a good job willing to dealing, but are you that confident with them with looking at talent in college?
Well, I wish Mike Tannenbaum was there to fuck things up. So Mike Tannenbaum is gone. So I think the front office, like I don't know anything about I know the head coach. I like the guy. He's black, but his last name is Flores. So I don't know how this works.
Brian Flores, yeah.
So he's got a Spanish last name. I'm rooting for the guy. The locker room seems to really, really like him, and it's a good young team. And I don't like the Dolphins. I do like Tua, and I hate seeing people shit on Tua. So I just want to see Tua do well, and I want to see him do well with some toys. And if he does well with toys, I hope he can silence those people. But their draft positioning right now, they're set to do very, very well.
They're in a great draft position, but we don't know what they're going to do with those picks. I feel a lot more confident in Baltimore's drafting than I am in Miami's drafting. That's just me though.
I like Baltimore's too. I think Baltimore is very intriguing. They always get rid of big name players and bring in.
They're good. Yeah.
The linebacker situation there. Get rid of a linebacker, bring in a linebacker type of thing. We get rid of Judon, but we're gonna bring in this dude, and he's gonna wreak havoc all over the field. So I think Baltimore's another good one if I had to pick. And I can't say the Jets. Like I want to say that they're going to be good. We have a lot of picks this draft, but I'm not confident in anything that they do.
But all right. How confident are you in Zach Wilson? Honestly,
I'm not confident. I'm not confident because there's no protection outside of Becty. That's it. Yeah. There's no other protection. So that's why I was saying, if we imagine if we kept Sam Darnold. I know you always knock me for saying that. But imagine if we kept Sam Darnold and we drafted Sewell and Becty. You're starting to have the making of a good offensive line then. And then go get those pieces in the second round to throw around him to throw to. So it all comes down to protection to Zach Wilson. You got to protect this guy. Otherwise.
But he could protect him. Now, I don't know. The film says that he can get out the pocket and protect himself.
But he's small too. He's not.
He is small. Oh, yeah, he is small for sure. That's why he said I say he could be the Mitchell Trubisky of this draft. Because I think he's I don't think Trubisky's not talented, but to me, they just lack that. You know what I mean? I don't see it in Zach, and I definitely don't see it in Trubisky. So
Becty is fucking a torso and a head taller than him, man. Like you can't even look over the O-line. That's going to be a problem.
I mean, Russell Wilson's 5'10".
Yeah, I mean Drew Brees.
And you told me That's a comparison. It was Russell Wilson.
That's what they compare. I'm not saying that's his
That's
comparison.
what you told me. So I have to go with what you told me.
He said his last name is Wilson. His name is Wilson.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sold on it. It's hard to come for great. It's hard to compare someone to a great. That's the hard thing. That doesn't make sense. You gotta find a like we compared Derek Fisher to who was it the other day? That was who was it? That was a great
Edelman.
That was a great comparison.
Yeah, that was a great, amazing comparison.
Great comparison. So to come out and say that this guy is Russell Wilson caliber. First off, Russell Wilson went like what, third round,
fourth round.
Yeah,
that's why I said the best talent you're gonna find is not in the first round. Is gonna give you of course is third, fourth rounds where you get the damn, you drafted him. Yeah,
there's good players. It all ends up to coaching, and it all comes down to the players' mindsets
and your front office, your facilities, all that stuff.
We got that guy from Florida a couple years back, the defensive end. I think we got him in the second or third round. I can't remember his name. He was a defensive end, Joshua Polite.
Yeah.
And I remember watching on photos like, oh my God, we got this guy on a steal. But he's an idiot. He wouldn't read the playbook. He'd be late all the time. And I mean, you got to come to work prepared to do your job.
That's what the Raiders found out with Jamarcus Russell. They gave him like something to go study, and I guess he's like, I forgot how the story goes, but long story short, you can't just go off of film, and you can't go off of what you saw on Saturday, because maybe that's why Justin, like I said earlier, maybe there's a reason why Fields is dropping, because he's probably like, they're probably like, oh, we don't really know about him. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope that's not the case, but they might know something we don't know. I mean, they're with these players a lot, not 24/7, but they're interviewing them. They're going to the combines and pro days and all this stuff. So there's obviously something that they see that we don't see. But a lot of people always slip through the cracks. Tom Brady was drafted 6th round, 199 overall from the University of Michigan. So these things do happen. So yeah.
I mean, you definitely find sleepers later on. I don't fight that. There's a dime a dozen that come like in the very, very late rounds of football. But I'm excited for the draft. Predict the pick is out now on NFL.com, so you can predict the pick there if you want to make your predictions. My entire thing there.
Yeah.
We'll compare them on our next show and see who got the most right out of it in the first round.
Probably gonna be me, but I got Mac Jones wrong already. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, you said it on the show. You want to change it, which is exciting. If you say you want to change that pick, that's fine.
They just gonna see what they see. I want to change it, but I put that in print, so it's been published into the interwebs.
I'm excited for day 2 and day 3, second and third round. I like watching a lot too. I do remember where I was second round when we took Geno Smith in that round.
And I remember where I was when we took JJ Arcega-Whiteside over old boy from Seattle, DK Metcalf. So these things happen. Day 2, I was there when we drafted Justin Fields on day 2 as well. Not Justin Fields. See, I did it again. What's my quarterback's name? Jalen Hurts. You see, subconsciously, I'm already thinking about other quarterbacks. I'm already thinking about other quarterbacks. I hate that.
No love, man. But yeah,
I love you. What's his name again?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen, I love you, bro.
Draft will be going on this entire weekend, so it'll be a fun thing to watch. Are you gonna be on Pless's thing tomorrow?
We gonna see, bro. We gonna see.
We may be plugged in on.
We may be on. We might be on live.
I'll probably get a lightning game, but I'll definitely make a FaceTime appearance and show my reaction to the Jets' 2 first-round picks.
Who the Lightning playing?
I don't know. I just got tickets. I'm going with Sammy.
Hey yo, Sammy, let me get something. Run something by me.
But yeah, man, that's the show.
Whoa. Hey,
you got something else?
Really quickly.
What's that?
We got a quick fire 5.
Fire 5.
College basketball, where they go to college basketball, NBA players. You thought I was gonna let you off the hook. My boy Nick has been asking. So I gotta give you a quick 5.
All right, let's go.
All 5 of these gentlemen were 6 men of the year.
Okay.
So they're relevant.
Okay.
Number one, he is the father of Wardell Stephen Curry. Where did Dell Curry go to college?
NC State?
Nope. Virginia Tech. 0 for 1. Guys, he is not on his game right now. He is not on his game. Dell Curry went to Virginia Tech. Number 2, this young man, well, not young man, but I remember playing with him on video games. He's a great three-point player. He was good in the post later in his career. Where did Rodney Rogers, number 9 overall pick, 1993, go to college?
Wake Forest.
Oh, you got it. You're looking good right now. He went to Wake Forest. A-Rod, you are on it right now. Number 3, this gentleman right here, I love playing with him on video games too for some reason. I used to make a trade, and he was one of the people I made a trade for. Corliss Williamson. Where did he go to college? Number 13 overall pick, round 1, 1995. Where was he drafted from?
Arkansas.
Sham? Wow. A-Rod still got it, my friends. A-Rod still got it. I'm surprised. Next one. Sacramento Kings fans, you loved him. He came off the bench and he backed up Mike Bibby, and he did a great job. Where did Bobby Jackson go to college?
You gave me Bobby Jackson one time.
Where did he go to college?
Minnesota.
All right. There we go. I don't care if I gave it to you. We're doing 6 men of the year. I gotta keep you on your toes. Last one.
Jackson won 6 man?
Huh?
Bobby Jackson won a 6
He
man?
won 6 men of the year.
All right. I know that.
I'm gonna give you one more. This young man, you're not gonna know this answer, by the way. He won 6 men of the year in like the 80s, I believe. He won it twice, 87 and 1990. Ricky Pierce, he was a bucket. Where did Ricky Pierce go to college?
I know the name. I know the player. I'm a guess. Give me 2 guesses.
Yeah, that's fine. That's correct. That's fine.
Georgia Tech?
Nope.
Ohio State?
Nope. He went to Rice.
Yeah,
Rice. So you what? 3 for 5?
That's not bad.
Hey, for somebody who hasn't done this in a while, it's not bad. For some, remember you ever heard that Big L freestyle? For somebody tired, it's not that bad because he did a little freestyle. I live in New York when I was never a fan of the Knicks. Yeah, Big L said that.
Big
I identified to that because I used to live in New York for a little bit too, and I was like, damn, I'm not a fan of the Knicks either. Anyway,
I remember Votto said, I don't care who they get, I'm still not a fan of the Knicks. I was like, yo, I can relate to this on so many levels, man. Oh man.
All right, that's the show now. That's the show now.
That's the show. Give you the rundown. Twitter @fair_weather_pod, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, The Fair Weather Podcast. You can find us there, and wherever you subscribe to podcasts, please give us a listen. Click that, smash that,
subscribe and like button.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman, Devontae Smith. Don't mess us up, my brother.
Joe Douglas. We know you're doing too. Please take Naji Harris. Just draft him somewhere. Draft him
at number 2. Who cares? Do it.
Do it. Pull the fucking
Pull
trigger.
the trigger. All right, peace.
Later.